From months and months of waiting, guys, it is now a matter of days that this man, Mason Greenwood, will be returning. I've got an update for you concerning the takeover. It's been a long time without any message, any signal from Sheikh Jassim and his camp. But guess what? There's an update. Something is happening. Fabrizio Romano has confirmed it, guys. I told you here yesterday that Mason's Greenwood decision has been made. It is just a matter of it being announced now. Welcome to the hotspot. My name is Webb, here to burn you again with that hot news, and I know this is what makes the hotspot hot indeed, because the hot news is what we want to give you here, and there is nothing more hot than this. Now Fabrizio, the kingpin Romano, has just confirmed it now, like I did hint yesterday, that in just a few days before we play against Wolves in the opening game of the season, we'll have an update on the status of Mason Greenwood. Now Fabrizio Romano has come out today and made it clear that it will be in less than 10 days to be specific, and that could be tomorrow, it could be the day after, or the day after tomorrow. It could be now, in a few hours from now, it could be hours, but in less than 10 days there will be unofficial communication from Manchester United concerning Mason Greenwood. Now everyone has been clear. We want Mason Greenwood back. Of course, we know that it was reported, I think, by The Sun a few weeks ago, a few months ago. They were saying that Mason Greenwood put his house in Manchester up for rent, and of course, speculation was that he was leaving to go out on loan, probably in Italy, where he's wanted by so many clubs. But things have since changed, because after talks between Man United and some of the sponsors, it seems they have come out to agree that this boy, a free man, can return, and that's the decision that is about to be announced. And after that, shortly after that, Erik ten Hag will proceed and decide on what he wants to do. Is he going to loan the young player out, or is he selling him, or is he coming straight back into the starting team? But what we know from credible sources from inside the club is that Mason is out of the woods now. He's out of any form of trouble, that he is going to be welcomed back to the club. He has got a contract running until 2025, and of course, with what Erik ten Hag is doing and the lack of so many good attack-minded players like him in his age, obviously we can't afford to lose him because of nothing. Because, guys, like I said, the boy is free. He's enjoying his girlfriend, who is soon to become a wife, their first child. The families are too happy, so there is no point in Manchester United going on and on and on with an independent investigation. Guys, in less than 10 days you will be hearing this officially from Manchester United. Now, speaking of official, guys, it's official that Rasmus Højlund has had his medical. The first biggest part of the medical has been done today, and in fact part of the media work, unveiling the videos, recording of video, unveiling first interviews and all of that has been done today, and it's a matter of time that it will be released one after the other. Here on the hotspot, we'll be back to give it to you when it happens. But the medical has been done, and it is a successful medical. We are just pending formalities now for official communication. But Rasmus Højlund, for 72 million pounds, he is done and dusted, waiting to be unveiled as a Manchester United player. Should be before the end of this week. Hotspot, guys, I do continue to burn you with Manchester United news. Now, away from Rasmus Højlund, just briefly, I know you need an update on Sofyan Amrabat. Now, there's been a lot of talk and speculation concerning Sofyan Amrabat and him and his time at Fiorentina. Of course, with talk that Amrabat could actually be, sending signals now that he wants to join Manchester United. And these reports, I'm here to confirm to you that they are true. Amrabat has consistently expressed his interest in joining Manchester United. And yes, after that friendly game for Fiorentina that they did play, I think yesterday, he was asked about Man United. And of course, he had to be professional, but he was heaping a lot of praise on Erik ten Hag, a manager he worked with quite a while back. So Amrabat to United might be a little slower, but after the acquisition of Rasmus Højlund and his unveiling later this week, Amrabat is going to be advanced. United are clear. They are clear. They know the direction they want to take. They do want to sign a backup for Casemiro and Amrabat. Forget about what you had. The rumors that maybe he might be, I think, postponed, and maybe they will come back for him in January. No, there is no more postponement. This is a player Erik ten Hag has wanted since January in the last window, and he's certainly here now to say he's sealing it. Remember, United United is progressing in terms of selling players. We already know where we're going to get the money for Rasmus Højlund. So AMRABAT was the issue, but Fred is going. That's not a question. It's a matter of time. Fred is going. Manchester United as well are looking for potential buyers of players like Scott McTominay, but also most importantly Harry Maguire, who has been put on the market. United are holding out for the right valuation. So in terms of money for AMRABAT, guys, I'm here to calm you down to say the money for AMRABAT will be there because he is part of the Erik ten Hag plans. Hotspot, we are going on now. Away from AMRABAT, we do know for a fact that a top defender that Manchester United wanted in Alex Disasi was snatched, for lack of a better word. He was snatched by Chelsea. Now what's happening at Manchester United now is that the club is looking at options. Now, I told you Erik ten Hag is the kind of manager who has everything planned out. Now, we know that for the past couple of weeks, John Evans, who is a 35-year-old player, last played for Leicester City. He was a former Manchester United player. He's a Premier League winner. So he was always there in United and part of, some of the big achievements that the club celebrated. Of course, never your number one. But after training with the club, he played with the under-23s. Erik ten Hag has been impressed by Johnny Evans. And guess what? What was an interim short contract might turn into a one-year contract for him to stay around and help the club start the season as one of the options in the backline. Now, that would mean, what that for me shows is the fact that United have given up on option on their ambitions of perhaps trying to chase for another centre back. We had talked of Jean-Claire Todibo, who is one of, and that's the player I'm talking about, who was one of those players that United was linked with as a backup in case United failed out on Axel Disasi, who we obviously failed out on, so I'll remove him because he is not in the plan. He's going to Chelsea. Now, there was talk that Jean-Claire Todibo would be the one coming in, that niche defender. But it seems United now are focused on getting John Evans in and perhaps taking time to try and find the right centre back, but also find the funds to come and get a new signing, a younger centre back who is for the future plans, because United certainly do need backups. But of course, that still depends. The getting of a centre back depends on whether Harry Maguire is sold or not. So again, there is that bit of impasse at the club. But for now, Erik ten Hag, with the season fast approaching, impressed by Johnny Evans, he is saying he could be signing on Johnny Evans on a short-term one-year contract as he does stabilize the ship. Hot spot, guys. We do continue on this Wednesday to talk Manchester United. Now, the takeover has been silent for the longest time. Not that there is nothing going on now. Like I told you, Sheikh Jassim has been for the longest time been rumored to be taken through a Premier League owners test, and I honestly want to believe this is where we are. But the update we are getting now is that apparently the takeover never stopped. Like I told you, of course, I think that's no news. The takeover never stopped. It was ongoing behind the scenes. It has always been ongoing behind the scenes. And what we know now is that the Glazers are beginning to postpone it. Yes, the long game is beginning to come up again. The Glazers are beginning to postpone. Apparently, they could reopen, and they are already talking to other potential buyers of the club, because both Sir Jim Ratcliffe and Sheikh Jassim apparently are not meeting their £6 million valuation of the club. 6 billion rather. Their £6 billion valuation of the club. So it seems they could be taking us back to square one. And guys, this is happening when the season is fast approaching. For me, the moment I started seeing the Glazers close to the club, in that before that in the tour of the US, and of course I know the US is their home, so probably it was closer, but it's not a matter of proximity for me. It was a sign beyond just it being a convenient place for them to easily go. By the time the Glazers, I think it was Avram Glazer, who had the audacity to go and attend the training of Man United with the wife. I mean, with what has been going on, I think he saw the silence, and of course knowing they were in the US now, and knowing what they had discussed in the boardroom, he decided to go. And that for me, he even watched that game against, I think, Real Madrid. Now for me, that for me was the evidence that these guys actually are not in a rush to sell the club. So what is being reported now is that they have opened the door for more bidders to come in, and as they try to prolong and play the long game to eventually try to find someone who could give them their £6 billion valuation of Manchester United. So that's where we are. Where does that take us? It's a report that is coming coming through. Of course, it's just a developing story. The takeover is not done, guys. There is work going on behind the scenes, but it might be a different direction from what we've been expecting and what we've known. But guess what? Here on the hotspot, I will be giving it to you as it comes, as we do continue talking Manchester United. Guys, thank you. My name is Webb. Subscribe to the hotspot. That's it for now. I will be catching you tomorrow with more updates concerning Manchester United. For now, that's it. Rasmus Højlund medical is done. Tomorrow expect videos from his first interview and unveiling. We shall know the shirt number by tomorrow latest. We know that AMRABAT is still on. After Højlund, expect something for AMRABAT probably by Friday or Saturday as we go into the weekend. We also know for a fact that Johnny Evans could be returning in that centre-back position. But most importantly, the most important news now, I think today, if you love Manchester United, is the fact that in less than 10 days, we will be having the announcement concerning Mason Greenwood. Web Daniel Sebachiche, Hotspot, subscribe.